Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I have anxiety. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on, but I'm kind of sort of feeling like this is going to be a very potent reading. Sorry, my lips feel dry. All right. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm nervous for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Let me just get the proper content up on the screen. All right. I'm getting started. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I heard quite a few different things. A lot of what I heard had to do with you not realizing your effect on others. You don't realize the type of gravity that you hold, that you naturally hold. You don't seem to be aware of your effect, you know? And that's okay. This is something you can totally take the time to learn. It's not like you need to force yourself to go through this process, but it's important to really understand that you have an effect on others, an effect that you don't realize how profound it is. You don't realize just how, I guess, intoxicating your energy is for someone else. Because it's almost a sense of like some people just, they just can't let go, right? And I think for some of you, it's a reciprocated thing. It's a reciprocated thing, and it's not unwanted. It's just misunderstood. But for others of you, no. Just no, they need to leave you alone. Yeah, some people are just really, really unhealthy in their demands to remain connected to you, to have access to you. Yeah. I don't want to focus on the stalkers and the people who, feel as though they have some type of legitimate claim over you in your life, like it's your life. So, okay. Let me get our final deck. This will kind of hopefully set the stage for some goodness to come through this reading. It sucks because sometimes the reading will be just an ultra positive, full of love, reciprocal emotions type of reading. But then it's like, I have to be extremely careful of how I say things because stalkers will use my words to really just justify their gross behaviors. So, kind of, it is what it is. All right. There it goes. Let's start. Okay. Intention. Someone has intentions with you. Right off the bat, The feel that I get is that the intention is honorable, it's love-based, it's a very, very deep, deep, deep type of thing, um, but again, be careful with this, okay? Be careful with this, be very mindful that this is a general reading, and therefore, um, not everything is gonna be for everyone, just hold on to the things that resonate for you and your personal situation and let go of the rest, okay? But someone has intentions. They This person is not a bad person. This person has been respectful of your time and your space. That's the sense that I get. They've been respectful. I don't know if they've stayed away. That's what I wanted to say. So maybe this is someone that you've known in the past, or maybe this is someone who hasn't come forward yet because they're trying to make sure that it's appropriate to come forward to you. Um, yeah, it is appropriate. Hex and banishment. It's in reverse. So it's almost like this sense of your energy is calling them in. It's like drawing them in, calling them in, calling them in. Whether or not you're aware of it, it is calling them in. So now it's this fear that you have. It's something that needs to be cleared. The fear of connection, the fear of I guess a fear of not being able to handle yourself in the presence of other people. Maybe for some of you, you have that fear of like, what's going to happen if they're around me because I can't control myself. I can't control myself in their presence. Like um, that's not good. That's not good. Um, So we have to explore that a little bit. Like, why do you feel the need to put so much emphasis on self control around specific people? So comes the question of, are you trying to control the outcome of something because you're afraid of receiving what is rightfully yours, afraid of connections that take you to places within yourself that you're afraid to explore? What is this fear based off of? Typically, control is rooted in fear of a lack of power, personal power, um, a sense that you're not heard, you're not seen, that your needs are being disregarded. The general feeling that I get from this reading is that this person has so much respect for you, and they're not disregarding your feelings. The reason it's taken so long for this reading to come forward is because they have absolutely so deeply considered um, the effect of their presence in your life. So this is someone that's taking into consideration, um, how will they affect you? Can they offer you the positive change that you need? Um, the type of changes they feel you deserve. It's a lot of self reflection going on for this individual. And they're it's a sense of being very mindful of you and your heart, very mindful of the level of respect that they show you. So it's beautiful. It definitely is beautiful, but it's also something that's created a lot of tension. I don't know if you're waiting for this person to come back, because that's almost a sense that I get, like, a waiting for someone to maybe come back. Um Dream I love you, boo. Look at she wrote, this girl. I haven't even had my coffee yet, and here you are calling me the F out. Rude. Hey, boo. I'm a rude girl, rude girl. But see, that's the thing. This is I feel like for the people that this applies to, you already know who this applies to. You already have like a very good idea. My head is starting to my scalp is starting to hurt. So much tension in this reading. Yeah, the need to control and that fear-based logic needs to be addressed. And I think it's on both your ends. It's on both your ends. It needs to be addressed. Something needs to be released for both of you. And if you can release it on your end, oh God. Holy shit. This is a twin flame reading. How am I so fucking dense sometimes? Uh Uh, what I was gonna say, my aha moment came when I realized the words that were trying to find their way out of my mouth was that y'all are reflections of each other. You're reflections, you mirror each other. So if you can let this go, if you can let this need to control go, then they can as well. And you guys can I don't know. Let me Okay. This is someone who continues to remember. Remember whatever it is, whether it's in this life or previous life. I don't know if you've met this person yet. If this is truly a twin flame reading, this is something that might be you haven't met each other yet, and the things that are coming up have to do with past life stuff, right? Has to do with past life stuff where they remember, and they're not fully understanding that these emotions, thoughts, whatever it is that they're struggling through, um, they're not fully remembering that where it's rooted in. They don't know where it's rooted in because they haven't met you yet, and so they're struggling through it. I can always tell when I'm going to meet another twin because I can feel it. I can feel it before they actually arrive. I can feel it. Specific types of information start coming through, and I'm just like, oh God. The beautiful thing is, my all of my twins that I've found are actually really truly are reflections of me. And so we're all pretty respectful of each other's space. We don't be intruding in each other's lives or thoughts or anything like that. Like we really try to be mindful of that. So that's a beautiful thing. So now I'm kind of wondering if you're experiencing intrusion of your thoughts and feelings and whatnot, you know, is that a reflection of some of your behavior? I don't know the answer to that, but I think that's definitely something that we need to consider when we start talking about how other people's behaviors are affecting us. Are these behaviors things that we reflect, that we are projecting, um, and that's why it irritates us because it's bringing our attention to it? Or is it because um, we don't do that and we don't understand how someone else could feel that that's appropriate? In my case, it's because I really try my damnedest to stay out of people's space. And so when people are just flagrant with their disrespect of me, my sovereignty, my autonomy, the sacredness of my field, and they continue to try and access me, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. But see, here's the thing. I'm aware that there are certain people, specific people, who I don't have to be this way with. That I feel them because there's a connectivity there and not because they're being intrusive. That there is some level of awareness of each other's existence, even without trying or intending. Like my very, very small sprinkling of BFFdom. Like the few, very very few people who I consider BFFs. Um, I'm always to some level aware of things that are going on. I try my best to not be into their details, to only allow myself to feel like if something um, really bad is going on so that I can reach out and be like, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need me to do anything? Is everything all right? Do you need to talk?" Just for that sake, so that they can tell me what's going on. But it's never this thing, intended or whatnot, where I'm trying to dig into the details of people's lives. And that's the thing. It's like for me, what I've ever only seen is that when it is a true like twin connection, there's no intrusion there. It's not this intrusion. It's that's why it's like for most people, you've misidentified the person as your twin. My stalker believes he's my twin. It's disgusting. We'll never be reflections of each other. That's disgusting. Behaviors and logic is that's just disgusting. I will never, ever, 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 ever be that type of reflection. So this has a lot to do with becoming aware, your level of awareness of what you project and what is reflected back at you. You have to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for the behaviors, right? Sometimes, um, we will experience behaviors from people because it's a reflection of our own behavior. Other times, and I repeat, other times, uh, we experience it because we're aware of the polarity, the opposing polarity of that behavior. It's like the exact opposite of how we behave. And we don't like that, you know? We don't like that. Rhonda says, like a friendship from a distance. Yeah, kind of. Um, I'm on pretty good terms with most of my twins. Actually, all but one still has continued access to me. They can reach out and message me at any time, and I respond when I feel like it. um, it's true. I respond when I feel like it. And, they're all able to just message and be like, "Hey, you're in my thoughts," or "Hey, just checking on you, seeing if you're okay." It's a beautiful thing. It really can be a very, very beautiful connection. All of them except one I still have um, interaction with. They do still message me here and there, and we kind of just catch up. And then they live their life, and I live my life for another 7, 8 months, a year and a half, however long between conversations. But I can feel when they're going through something intense. Like I'll keep um incessantly thinking of them to the point where I'm like, maybe I should message. And whenever I feel that, it's usually that they are going through something ugly, something difficult, and my messaging comes at the right time, or they'll end up messaging before I have free time to message. So that's a beautiful thing. Twin connections are not always romantic. They're just not. They're not always romantic. I've met quite a few people whose twin is their sibling. Their sibling is a twin, or a parent, or their child. That's their twin. So it's not always this like sexual connection. Cleansing. See, okay, clearing and then cleansing. So clearing the environment, the projections, and then cleansing the internal. Cleansing your thoughts and your perceptions, how you receive those thoughts, how you interpret them. That needs to be cleansed as well. It's time to heal. Be your own healer. Allow yourself to experience that which you need to experience. And what is that? Healing. You can't heal a wound if you're not aware of where that wound is. You can't properly address a wound if you don't look at the wound, if you don't assess it. Is it a puncture wound? Is it a deep penetration? Is it just a superficial laceration? Is it like road rash? I mean, all of these things need to be addressed in different ways. They are to be addressed in different ways, and you don't know which way it is best addressed if you don't know what the wound is. And I think for most of us, we really don't want to see where our wounds are. We don't want to see it. We don't want to feel it. We just don't. Oh, shoot. I finally found what went wrong. I finally found the wrong in you. Don't want to feel you. Don't want you on my mind. But see, this is not referring to someone else. This is referring to you. Are you refusing to feel yourself, to feel your shadow? Are you refusing to feel the thoughts that come forward as you address these shadows? Shadows are not monsters. They're not monsters. They're toddlers in need of a nap. And when you address the needs of the toddler then remembers how to behave in a way that is acceptable to the environment. We have to begin recognizing when we are creating our own struggles through the avoidance of whatever it is we're trying to avoid. Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. Eliza says, I don't think I would ever want to really know who my twin is for sure. I'd rather just appreciate the people who have crossed my path for whatever growth they've helped me with. I love that. So I categorize these specific people that came to mind as my twin because I am aware of the different types of soul connectivity and the way the resonance exists between myself and the other person. But at the end of the day, all our interactions are just good friends. There's never, except for my dark twin, there's never really a reference to twindom. My dark twin, my shadow twin, we call each other twinnies. So, you know. But I mean, he is the epitome of mirroring my darkness. Epitome. Um, yeah. So, random factoid that popped in my head. In accordance with the Privacy Act that was enacted in 2020 by the Department of Justice, um, people who work for the government cannot access their databases to harvest information from you or about you and provide it to someone else without legal cause. I was reading up on that the other day. They can't do that. That's illegal. They have an obligation to maintain your privacy as a private citizen. That just popped in my head. I don't know. Those are the type of conversations I would have with my twinnie. Okay. Security in reverse. There is this upside down sense. I feel like either you or this other person that's being referenced, that one of you or maybe both are feeling very insecure in your life. Very, very insecure in your life. Well, hello, Lance. Welcome from the Philippines. Death in reverse. This is something that's been dragging out. The sense of being insecure in decisions that need to be made. It's been being dragged out. It's been the cause of the continuation of certain types of life circumstance that either one or both of you are dealing with. It's definitely something that has been uncomfortable. It hasn't been a joyful space. If you think someone is enjoying the hurt that you're going through, I mean, I don't know. Eliza says we shouldn't have to place other souls in boxes by labeling anything. I don't necessarily feel like you're going to be putting someone in a box by understanding what that connection is. It's what you do with a label in the box that becomes toxic. But in awareness of what someone's connection to you is and the purpose they can serve in your life, that's powerful. That's very, very powerful. Um, like for my um for one of my twins, they friend requested me, this was years ago. They friend requested me on social media, and I was like, I'm not approving that friend request. Mm-mm. That's a whole lot of trouble right there. I'm not approving that. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. I can already tell that is a whole bunch of what the actual tarnation is going on. So, yeah, I was aware. I was aware to some degree, and I was just like, "I don't think so. No, thank you." We ended up interacting for a short period, because I was kind of see, this is why you don't live in an obligatory sense. When you continue to do things because other people ask you to, what ends up happening is you get yourself in situations that maybe you didn't wanna get yourself into. Um, so my ex was awful, but he taught me more about myself. Can we change that? Can we change that to the reality of what happened? Your ex was awful, and because he was awful, you were put in situations where you were given the opportunity to choose for yourself if you were going to learn about yourself or ignore the importance of knowing yourself. The people in our lives, they enter our lives not as teachers, but as triggers. Still a T word, but it's the wrong T. No one is my teacher, everyone is my trigger. People who I come across will trigger me to become aware of certain aspects of myself, certain behaviors, thoughts, logic, and it becomes this thing of will I learn about myself in this moment, or will I have to experience the ugliness of someone else before I choose to learn about myself? I'm not who I am because of the traumas I endured. It is not because of the people who chose to allow themselves to traumatize me. No, it's because what I chose to do after experiencing the trauma. It's because I chose to get back up. I chose to learn. I chose to allow myself to recognize how powerful I am, that no one can stop me except myself. And oftentimes, not even then. Not even then. I no longer want to give anyone credit for the change and the growth that I choose for myself and my environment. See, I realized not long ago, I tell you guys, don't give me the credit that's not rightfully for me. When you share space with me, that's a choice that you make. When I trigger you and you choose to use that triggering to dive deeper into your truth and find out more about yourself, that is your choice. You are doing that work. The credit goes to you. The honor of being allowed to be present and somehow a part of that process does go to me. I'm very honored to be a part of that. But the credit of your growth never goes to me. It always is allowed and experienced and worked on by you. I may have had a part of that. Thank you for giving me that, for allowing me to have that. But never did I ever make someone else grow or heal someone else. No, that's always been you and your choices. So I'm at a point where it's like, what will I choose? How will I choose to grow? Through fulfillment, allowing yourself to fulfill your needs, allowing yourself to create and participate in the opportunities that will allow you to reach higher levels of awareness, of success, accomplishment, all of these different things. Something's going on. It's a powerful guardian. It's a powerful guardian. Very powerful. And Dr. USA, your mom is. Your mom is. Give me 1 second, guys. I finally found what went wrong. Don't want to feel you. Don't want you on my mind. How's it feel to know that I'm going to personally ban you myself? I wish you had the opportunity to tell us. Unfortunately, you've already been banned. I finally found the wrong in you. So powerful, guardian. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I think maybe some of what's going on is that a connectivity is being allowed to occur. The connectivity. It's very interesting energy. Very, very interesting energy. It feels like something that could be life altering. It feels like, again, going back to what I was picking up on earlier, this is a person that really makes you feel like, I guess, safe within your space, within your life. Guardian and power is someone that has a powerful effect on you, or maybe it's you. It's you, and we're being reminded of your effect on other people. It's very fascinating. Very, very fascinating energy. When we, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. If a specific other card comes out, I won't fight this reading. I will be very just forthcoming with the information. So I don't have to be forthcoming. All right. Let's do them in stacks of 3, groups of 3. Groups of 3. So, first group, diving for light. This is someone that encourages you to go deeper into your space, deeper into your truth, deeper into your oceans, right? And so their presence in your life is something that is very important, very, very important. I don't know if they're already in your life. I don't know that. They might not be, right? They might be someone you have not yet met. We don't know for sure. Let's see how this plays out. Some species of seahorses, they mate for life. So that's what's resting on your shoulders and your thoughts. Is this your seahorse? Is this your seahorse? I don't know. Card number 35, conscious connections. This is someone who has been paying attention to you regardless of what's going on in their life. Even if they are see, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Being in a relationship and being hyper fixated on someone else, that's not nice. I would not tolerate that shit. Like, no. You want to be fixated on someone else, you be in a relationship with someone else, not with me. So someone doesn't they don't have a heart-based connection with whoever this is that's in their life. This individual thinks it's a heart-based connection. It's not. This person is still paying attention to the Piscean, to the Piscean. They have lost all their color and feeling for this other person, but they stay because it's I guess a place of comfort. I guess maybe they feel taken care of. Oh my gosh, this could apply to so many different things. What is already with you? What is already with you? There's this thing that you can do. I I noticed that butterflies are extremely receptive to a certain type of frequency. And um when you begin pushing that's hard for me to say. When you begin to emanate a specific type of resonance, they'll be drawn to you. They'll land on you, they'll continue to fly around you. Same thing applies for hummingbirds. It's a specific type of resonance. I think this is a resonance that already exists within you. This is something inside you already, and this person is drawn to that. So I guess you could say this is a true twin reading in that it's none of that toxic ownership of someone else. Um, it's none of that trying to control someone else. It's trying to understand how you have affected this person. They're trying to understand why they can't just leave this be. Um, it's a sense that's coming and existing within them. They can't stop it, and they don't understand why. I have a feeling that this is an individual who is very, very good at compartmentalization, where they can just cut people off and be good with it. Like they don't be obsessed with others in that way. So even if they know you or not, it's almost this sense of they're aware. They're aware to some degree. They are very much aware. Um, they're aware of a presence that exists, some type of thing that they're seeking. So they might not even know who you are. They know your energy, but they don't know your identity, you know? Um, is that a bad resonance? Because that's happened my whole life, the butterfly. No, that's not a why would that be a bad resonance? Unless you think butterflies, hummingbirds, birds, and bugs are evil. They have an innocence about them. They don't have malignant intent. I think what's happened for you, Eliza, is that you've been in an environment that's vilified you for so long that you don't even know that you're not a villain. You're not a villain. You never have been. You've been too patient for certain things. You've allowed certain things. You've diminished your sense of worth for certain things. But all of these certain things that I can point out that you've done or been, at no point has there ever been you existing as a villain. There's been you being convinced by villains that you are the villain. I've had that much of my life as well, where people who I've done nothing to, and I can admit when I've done wrong stuff, you know, I got an attitude. I can be aggressive. All these different things. Like I know who I am. I'm not a villain. But a large portion of my life, the villains that find me try and convince me and try and convince other people around me that I am, in fact, the villain. I think they need to be throat punched. But I'm not going to do it because I'm not a fucking villain. My God. Anywho, what do you feel? What do you feel? Are you comparing things that are not even the same fruit? Are you so focused on work, so focused on this earthly existence that you're not allowing yourself to feel what needs to be felt? After the storm, so a storm's been brewing, right? And this storm, like for many of us, we don't like storms. I know I don't like to get wet. But I realize the storm has a capacity to terraform the landscape of the human consciousness. Some people will enter our lives as a storm, clearing away all the rubbish, initiating flash floods that we think is chaos and destruction. But in reality, it is carrying away the things that are not bolted down into your life, things that should not be allowed to continue to exist within your heart. You're only afraid of the storm when you continue to identify as strictly just human. You guys have heard me multiple times saying, as long as you are in a human body, you are a human being, but that is not all you are. You are a culmination of all the different lives you've lived, terrestrially and extraterrestrially. You're a culmination of all of that. All of that still resides within you. So it's important to find that middle ground between the life you're currently living as a human and all of these beautiful, magical lives of humans that have passed and galactic beings that you've existed as. You have more than one identity. When you begin to understand that, you'll begin to identify as not just human, but as the sky that houses the storm. The sky is never bothered by a few clouds and some water. I'm not the earth that simply receives. I'm also the sky that houses the different potentialities. I'm also that bridge between this earthly existence and all the galaxies beyond what I know. Oh, child of the sun, too many people want to control my mind, but can't because only I control my mind and thoughts and experience. I got to share this with you guys. I want to read it for you because I don't want to mess it up. So, divine consciousness awareness frees us from the power of malignant darkness, self abasement, self abnegation, lies, sickness, and emotional torment. This leads to the understanding that to agree to poisons being injected into you is against your sovereign free will. Diseases are created by deviations from the law, and to heal the diseases due to deviations requires the curative powers of different herbs and plants, heliotherapy, hydrotherapy, and the proper diet for every ailment. Thought is a superior force, more powerful than the force of either feeling or action, because it is the instigator of both. The totality of an individual's thoughts is called his thinking body. Its individual function is to utilize the power of thought to guide and direct the currents of feeling in the individual's feeling body and the actions of his acting body. The thinking body can do this because it penetrates through the feeling and acting bodies. The thinking body is man's highest gift from his creator, for it and it alone gives him the capacity to become conscious of the law, to understand it, to work in harmony with it, to perceive its manifestations in all his surroundings, in himself, in every cell and molecule of his physical body, in everything that is, and to realize its omnipresence and omnipotence by becoming conscious of the law, by understanding it, by acting in harmony with it, man becomes a co-creator with God. There's no greater or higher value in the universe. If man fails to become consciously aware of the law, he deviates from it unknowingly, for he is surrounded by fields of inharmonious forces, prompting him to deviations. These deviations create all the imperfections in his world, all the limitations and negations in his thoughts and feelings and physical well being, in his environment, in his society, and the entire planet. Every time man creates or accepts an inferior thought, he is accepting an inferior force into his world. The inferior force, according to the strength of the thought, reacts on his feeling body. This sets up an emotional disequilibrium in his feeling body, which in turn reacts on his physical body. This disequilibrium automatically causes further deviations, further inharmonies, further diseases in the feeling and the acting bodies. And these inharmonies, these diseases create an inharmonious atmosphere around the individual, which affects the thinking, feeling, and acting bodies of all others who are not conscious of the law and do not know how to protect themselves from receiving all these inferior thoughts created by the individual's single deviation in thought. There is a lot that we take in from our environment. And if we continue to take in the inferior thoughts, inferior expectations, the misalignments of others, it will create deviations within us that cannot be cured, even with flora, herbs, spices, all of that. We have to make sure that we do not allow other people's caca to be taken in and owned by us. We don't have to own other people's disharmonic, inferior thoughts. Just because someone identifies you as something, identifies you as a label, affixes a label on you, you do not have to get in that box. You have your own labels. You have your own label maker. You have your own labels that you can affix. When someone, in their distorted perception, tries to convince you that you are less than what you are, that's blasphemous. That is a blasphemer. That is someone who goes against you and your divinity. There's no war that needs to be initiated, but you need to get on your. Have y'all ever seen? This is the label maker that I grew up with. It's like a little trigger thingy. You just squeeze it, and there's these letters, and it's a dial, and you turn it to each letter. And when it gets to the letter, you got to, and then you turn it again, and you turn it again, and that's how you make the labels, right? Every time someone tries to grasp onto me without my consent, I am turning, shifting, however many degrees at a time to the proper letter that needs to be selected. And it's up to them if they want to squish it. And when they do, after a certain period, an entire label will have been created. It's not about me judging someone. It's about me freeing someone to use their actions to create the label for me. Let that sink in. Let that just sink in. See, people will tell you, like, how dare you label me? You made the label for me. What are you talking about? It is through your actions that every single letter on your label was embossed into the tape of my life. You created that label. Now wear it. We have to wear what we create. And that's the thing. We don't hold people accountable for creating the labels themselves. We don't hold them accountable for creating that label and then asking us to affix that label onto them. I own my life because of the actions that I've chosen, the words, how I conduct myself, my behavior, my integrity, all of that. I have created labels about myself for each of you. And now you have the right and the power, the authority to affix that label onto me. From your vantage point, you can do that. And see, here's the thing. Someone will be like, well, Emmy, what if people want to label me a monster? Like I'm just this. Well, I've had people do that to me. And I've paid it no mind because when I exist all the way up here in my purpose, within my life, in my lane, and I have the small people who are only up to the height of my big toe, and they're in my lane, but they don't realize this because they're really small and limited in their perceptions. Obviously, they're going to be afraid of what they see. It's okay. You can put your label on my toe. That's fine. That's fine. I won't hold it against you. That you can see from only a very limited perspective. It's a very limited perspective. And if people can't see the truth, the gravity of who and what you are, what you're here to do, that's really none of our concern. Unless they're doing something malignant because of their fear-based thoughts, at which point you need to take the appropriate action. I'm not talking about street justice. Y'all, I've been done with street justice since I was 16 years old. I was done with street justice then. Yeah. And now at the age that I'm at, I'm also done with enablement through silence, lack of action, lack of accountability. So if I say I'm going to take the appropriate action, it's probably going to be legal. Not probably, it will be legal. Let me stop playing games. It will be legal. Like, oh my God, Emmy's going to report people. If you're not doing anything illegal, why are you afraid of being reported? Why does that rub you the wrong way? I mean, I could still be ratchet, but no, I'm good. I'm an adult at this point. I don't need to be fist fighting. I don't no, I'm not threatening people. No, I will take the proper legal action that's appropriate for whatever it is that I'm dealing with. You see, here's the thing. People can't take legal action against you if it's baseless. They can't. They literally cannot. It won't be supported. So take the appropriate action that's necessary for you in your life, whether it's legal or just your absence. Take the appropriate action and let people do with their sticker labels whatever they want. Some people behave like children and they need to put the stickers everywhere. They need to put it everywhere. You know, it drives my husband's nut. It drives my husband nuts. Our children are not allowed to do that. I'm over here like, who cares? They're kids. Oh no. Mm-mm. Do not put no sticker on nothing but paper or your belongings. Our car has no stickers. No stickers on the windows. Yeah, and so the happy medium was to get cling stickers. The cling film. So whenever there's a holiday, we wait until the holiday's done and then we get the cling film stickers for like a quarter, 25 cents, 30 cents, whatever, it's on clearance. I just want to get rid of it. And so I give it to my kids. I'm like, here, go ham. Put it on whatever window you want, baby boo. Put it on the sliding glass door, whatever you want. Yeah. But we not about that sticker live, not up in here. So the next card, Power of attraction. You have this effect, you have this polarity, this gravity. It causes people to orbit you. They are stuck in orbit. You're this celestial body that they just can't quite break free from. So it's kind of this is a twin flame reading for real twins, not like sexual ownership couples, right? Yeah. For some of us, for most of us, let's be very, very accurate here. For most of us, I would say about 95 to 97% of the world. Mhm. Yeah. 95 to 97% of the global population. We are not intended or destined to be in a divine union with a twin flame. And for about 99.99999% of us, we are not destined to be in a romantic relationship with our twin ray. That whole program was to mess with your head. If you look at all of the symptoms, all of the flags that you can see, these red flags, when you are entering into a connection with a narcissist, a histrionic person, all of those different cluster B personalities. It's the same as the symptoms of being in the presence of a twin flame. They wanted you to buy into this program so that you can be in the most toxic connections you could possibly find, and to hold on to that. Have you ever heard of chattel slavery? Chattel. Chattel. You should look it up. Chattel. Look it up. That's what that program is. When it comes to someone who's truly a soul-based connection, there's no effort to that. There's no effort to that. There's no holding on with bloody fingernails. There's none of that. I found quite a few twins. None of them hold on to me as though they need to dig their claws into me. The first one that I found, we're still in contact here and there. And he can write me a message and I can go an entire year before I answer it. And he's not tripping. He's not tripping. He's not waiting for me to respond. He knows how I am. But when I do respond, if he's free, then he'll respond back. We just chatted recently, a couple months ago. He's doing good. He's doing good. Yeah. I suck at keeping in contact. Um, it's just this thing of we turn it into something that it's really not designed to be, because why? Everyone that I've known over the years who were just, I'm with my twin this, twin that, twin. Um, they're not together anymore. They have nothing nice to say about the person. As a matter of fact, what they say is, oh, that was my false twin. Just stop already. Just stop already. Stop with seeking out the label. Stop. Just stop. Live a healthy life within your own. Mm. Card number 32, faith in the process. Have faith in the process. For some of you, this is a soul-based connection with someone, and they'll be a part of your life. There's so many different types of soul-based connections. So many different types. A twin is not the only type of soul-based connection that exists. I have a very deep, very pronounced, multiple life soul-based connection with my husband. He's not my twin. One of my earliest lives in physical form, he was there. And no, I didn't create this story so that I could, no. Bits and pieces of this have been coming through over the last, I don't know how many years. We had already been together for about 15 years, 16 years before any bits and pieces of this came through. So, no. Child of the sun, can you please stop? Can you just please stop? I understand you're going through something, but I'm a highly sensitive individual. And what you're sharing is affecting me negatively. I don't have the capacity this morning to filter that out. So if you could please do me a huge favor and stop with those types of comments. No? Then you're going to need to leave. This is not your shit show, buddy. When someone comes to you respectfully and lets you know that you are infringing upon their boundaries and negatively impacting them, and you don't care, I don't give a fuck what you're going through. Just like you don't give a fuck how your toxicity is affecting me negatively. Mirrors. There was nothing disrespectful about the way I vocalized my need. Nothing. And no, you're not a victim here. And no, I don't need to consider what you claim to have been through. I do not need to give respect and consideration where none has been earned and none has been given to me. And this is a beautiful lesson for all of us to witness because, y'all, just because someone has been through things does not mean they have a right to shit wherever the fuck they want. You don't get to do that wherever you want. Hey, guess what? I've experienced that type of stuff too. What now? Do you think you're entitled just because you've experienced what about 75, 80% of the population has experienced and has successfully been trying to deal with? You are not alone in what you've experienced. I'm sick and tired of people feeling like they are entitled to some shit just because they've been through some shit. Motherfucker, I've been through a lot of fucking shit in life. See, sometimes when you speak softly, people who don't know you, they will enter your space and be like, oh, this one. I'm going to show up here. I'm going to tell them everything that's happened to me. And then they're going to have to listen to me. No, I fucking don't. No, I fucking don't. Just because I choose to be soft does not mean I'm weak and easily manipulated. No. I have every right to voice my need. And that my need is for you to please refrain from that. It's negatively impacting me. There was absolutely nothing disrespectful or disregarding about that. Like, I acknowledge you're going through something, but please, you're negatively affecting me. And it's okay for you guys to be able to speak your need, to do so in a soft manner, to make that known, like, hey, I have a need too. Can we just respect each other's needs? I'm not saying that you're not going through something, but I'm saying what you're going through is now negatively affecting me. So if you could just refrain, that would be greatly appreciated. Just because I choose to believe that we are all equals does not mean you are being given permission to dominate my space. You're entering into my home. Honey, I'm not that type of Asian where I'm going to let you be disrespectful in my house. I can be confrontational. I can be combative. I can be aggressive as fuck. And just because I choose to be soft this morning doesn't mean those other parts of me are invalid or locked away. They come out as appropriate when needed. And hopefully you don't have to embarrass yourself again to learn this. And it's not me embarrassing you. It's you embarrassing yourself. Listen, I'm not your family. I didn't wound you. You don't get to bleed all over me. That's not what I do here. I'm not an EMT. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of that. If I didn't wound you, you don't get a pass to bleed all over me. If you need help, I can help. But if you're going to be combative with me as I try and help, fuck that shit. Bleed somewhere else. And this is about boundaries, guys. This is about really just that, what you saw right there, that's spirituality. You will not disrespect the sanctity of my space. That is spirituality. You witness spirituality in play, being applied to my life. That is spirituality. Do I need to take it personal? Yeah, I needed to for like a good second or two. And then I utilize that personal sense of being disrespected and use it to find my voice to speak on a topic that needs to be spoken about. That's spiritual. That's rising above. That's transmutation. That's alchemy right there. It's not this BS that we keep being shown, keep being told, keep feeling like we're obligated to exist in that way. Be free to be who you are. Be free to be who you are. As someone who is publicly visible, don't you think it would have benefited me to be like, oh my God, are you okay? Because then people will think I'm nice. And then people will subscribe and people will. I'm not here for that shit. Because that's what it is. It's shit. I'm here simply to be witnessed by whoever wants to witness. If you want to subscribe so that you can get notifications, beautiful. If you want to just continue to show up every morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, beautiful. And that's that. This is just an open space. I don't live my life based on the number of likes, based on the number of subs, or any of that. I live my life, and that is a complete statement. And as part of my purpose, I'm here to be witnessed. Why? Because I have the answers? No. Because I have the courage to act, even in the face of my fear. I will not tolerate flagrant fucking disrespect. That's a statement. That's a whole fucking commandment here in this space. And you can issue commandments within your own auric kingdom. I feel like if more of us had the courage to have commandments exist within our own personal kingdom, there would be less people who are emblazoned. Like, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? Who the fuck you think you are addressing with that shit? That's right. You didn't know. Now you know. Don't come back around here without manners. Don't come back around here without manners. I'm telling you right now. We don't need to keep taking people's bullshit because we're afraid of how people will see us. This is what I learned. People have seen me however they've chosen to see me for as long as they've been able to see me. And I've never had any control over that. No matter how much I modify my behavior, no matter how much I shut myself up, no matter how much I try and appease the people who are never satisfied because they are miserable people, I have never been able to force people to see me in a way that I've decided. Never. And that goes with every single possible way that people have I've tried to get people to see me. Like every single possible way. It's been ridiculous. I like it's irritating to this point. It's irritating. Like why I'd be mad and I'd be like, I'm gonna fuck shit up. And people will be like, oh my God, you're so cute. Oh, you're so sassy. I'm like, I was serious. I was serious. I said I was gonna fuck shit up. What do you mean I'm cute? Even with that, I can't get people to see me in the way I dictate. No, it's only ever how they choose to see me. It's irrelevant how I see myself. I've found that to be true. It is irrelevant how I see myself. People will always be free to see me in the way they choose to see me. That is their right. They are not obligated to play along and see me in whatever way I'm trying to portray myself. So I stopped trying and I began just being me, seeing the true you, allowing yourself to really truly see who you are. Some people make amazing, beautiful mirrors. They can help you to see who you are in the most accurate way. Other people are funhouse mirrors. They portray you in ways that are not accurate. They cause you to be distorted in the way that you see yourself. The purpose of having a twin in your life is to have a mirror, to be able to see yourself, to be able to see the way your logic and behavior is affecting you and your journey. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see clearly who you are through the people who are in your environment. Not everyone who complains about their family is a victim. Not everyone, you know? Sometimes people will say their family did this and 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 then, oh, poor, 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 poor me. And then it's like you feel for them and you try your best to be supportive of them. And as you get to know them, you begin to understand, like, oh, motherfucker, you are the problem. You are the drama. It's not your family. It's you. What the fuck? It's you. I've come across people like that where they tell me this wonderful storyline of blah, 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 blah. And because I've had issues growing up, it pulls on my heartstrings. And I'm like, oh my God, I know what that feels like. And then I allow them to be present. And I get to know them. And then I'm like, you're the fucking problem. You really are. You're God. Why did I do that? Why did I let you in? Because it's a way for me to learn for myself about boundaries and listening to intuition. Some people, I know I've been mad guilty with some people, not feeling guilty, but found guilty of pushing them away because I know they will affect my life in specific ways that I'm not ready to experience, whether that's friendship or whatever. Yeah, I've done that before quite a few times. I've missed out on amazing connections with amazing people because of my fear of connecting with people who might not be so amazing. We can't judge people based on fears. See, judgment is necessary, condemnation is not. But see, even judgment, which is necessary, it's a component of discernment. It cannot happen in a healthy way if we are filtering it through our lens of fear. It can't. The way you see them will always be distorted. So dream a beautiful dream. You are someone's dream. That's a beautiful thing. That's a very beautiful thing. That's the sense that I get. You are that beautiful dream that someone had before they even knew you existed. You are that dream. They dreamt you into being. Hold on. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Sometimes life feels like a string of memories that hurt, only to realize that pain is the part that broke me open to grow me. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right. So hold on. Michael was having me look around. Realization is the hardest part of the healing process. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. These are snippets of conversations that I have with Michael. Hold on. Loving you taught me how to love myself. In the act of loving someone else, we end up learning how to truly love ourselves. And we just have to have the courage to shift in our degree of perception so that we can face ourselves once again. Not only are you a pearl, you're also the ocean it came from. Don't ever play small again. And the people who irritate you, They are the grain of sand that enters into that oyster in order to form that pearl. All of these layers of reaction, protection of self, that's what forms the pearl. Um, the ways in which we break are the places where we find the truth of our soul's purpose. So you pair that together. Where is it? Life can feel like a string of memories that hurt, only to realize that pain is the part that broke me open to grow me. And the ways in which we break are the places where we find the truth of our soul's purpose. So it's about finding who you are and where you are. Sometimes I write down some of the things that come to my mind in these quiet conversations with Michael, and I read it over again. I look at my notes and I read it over again, wondering what were we talking about? Here, this one is good. Where is it? Oh man, I lost it. Where is it? Did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Hold on. Don't poke around graveyards if you don't want to wake the dead. I don't know where it is. I might have deleted it. Oh, yeah, no, that's not it. Only poke around graveyards if you want to wake the dead. So when you poke around things that are long gone, long since gone, you could potentially reawaken that in yourself and in someone else. Stop holding on to things. If this reading ties to someone in your life or someone that was once a part of your life, you'll know because you'll find all of these things happening. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is what she was talking about in the reading. But don't wait for it to happen. Okay. Allow yourself to move forward. Shock of the new. You're going to be experiencing new environments, new situations, new types of connections. I say types of connections because these connections might be with people from your past. New birth guarded vigilantly. Now, as you grow, as you are in their presence and you grow, you're going to reach higher levels of awareness. You have to guard yourself vigilantly until you become very comfortable in that new space of processing. Everything will feel differently in that new space. So, what once felt like the indication that danger is present, that a person is not trustworthy, it might be expressed in a different way. So, you have to be very vigilant of yourself in your field, and you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. It's very, very important. Okay. Trust yourself as you go through this process. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not be able to receive that intuition. So be fearless in reverse. It's okay if you're afraid. You can still complete things that need to be completed and understand things to the degree you need to understand it, even with fear present. Stop allowing your fear to cripple you. Fear doesn't have to be non existent, it just needs to be tempered and know its proper place. Intuition, but it was also in reverse. So, this is telling me that it's okay for you to not know how to access your intuition yet. Okay. It's okay to not have that yet. As you continue to communicate with your higher self, with your own divinity, you will begin to really, really develop your sense of self. Oh. Okay, so those there. All right. Mirrored souls. So again, this reconfirms this is a reading for those who are being prepared to develop a connectivity with a soul-based connection. Okay. Um, let's not immediately inject it with some type of romance or sexual connotation. No, leave that out of it for now. Leave that out of it for now. Okay. You hurt your own feelings when you jump right into the sexual component of any connection. Because, see, sometimes when you let people have just a little bit of time to show you who they are, you then will begin to see, I want nothing to do with commingling energies with you. So leave the sexual component out of it for now, okay? You have to walk your truth even when your emotions are upside down. Walk your truth. Be who you really are. Allow for the transformation to take place. Allow for that transformation to take place. Allow yourself to shift within your life, within your space. What? Ugh. Anyways, strength. Strength in reverse. Strong is strong is strong, whether it's right side up or upside down. Strong is strong is strong. Now, if you're going to use your strength to keep you held in a position that's upside down, it will burn, it will be painful after a while, and eventually you will fail and fall. If you use your strength in ways that are in alignment with your comfort, your needs, your growth, your trajectory, I mean, you can sustain that nearly indefinitely. You might need to take, a little break here and there, pause for a moment, but you won't actually fail. You'll be redirected sometimes. Your attention will be brought to certain aspects sometimes, things that you weren't paying attention to. This is a cosmic connection because you are a free spirit, or they are a free spirit, and you need that exposure to that in order to move forward. This is a desire to move forward from a very toxic situation. You know, integrity is there. This is not someone trying to use you, trying to hurt you, plotting against you. Mind you, this is a general reading, so I don't know who it will apply to. But this is someone with integrity, and the person with integrity can heavily support the person who has an upside down self-worth. They can heavily support you, or you can heavily support them, assist them to gain clarity in their life. And that's what's really, really important. Assisting each other in our personal efforts to grow ourselves. Okay. So there's not going to be any galactic assistance going on. The soul separation is about to end. The separation is winding down, and there's going to be a reconnection, and that reconnection is going to happen because of human decisions, not to do with galactic, not to do with celestial. Okay? So you and they will be doing this because of decisions you make. Oh, that's just a different deck. Let's keep them separate, please. um, this is a soul journey. This is a soul journey that someone is on. And whoever's on this soul journey is learning so much about themselves and what they're worth, what they want, where their life is headed. So fire cleanser and invoke the Oraphim. It's a lot of protection and clearing going on. I think because the window is being opened again. The window had just closed. The window had just closed, and so none of this was supposed to be on the table anymore. But it's this sense of someone has basically requested for that window of opportunity to be reopened. So, shedding cycle and royal return in reverse. They have to first, or you have to first, shed whatever that toxicity is that's really affected your mindset and your perception. That's the only time that the royal can return. Whether it's you that's the royal and you're returning back to your own throne room to sit upon the throne of your own kingdom, or someone else, I don't know, but they have to shed that toxic mindset. Intuition sigil. The intuition needs to be further developed. Okay, this is a call for that to be allowed. Stop thinking you're imagining things. Stop assuming that you're wrong. I think for soul connections, oops, sorry. For soul connections, we have a tendency to feel each other very deeply, very easily, without trying to. Stop pretending like you don't know who that emotion is coming from. You might not know them yet in this life, but you definitely know them on a soul level. Attract and hidden moon. So you're trying to pretend like you're not attracted to this person, whoever it is, for the people that this resonates with, and you're not going to be successful hiding your true feelings. You're not going to be successful hiding that. And maybe that's why you're afraid to connect, because you won't be able, maybe that's the fear of the lack of control. You won't be able to control how you feel about the other person. I don't know. I'm guessing. Growth in reverse. Uh, if you choose to bury the leaves and the tip of the plant, it's not really going to know how to fix that. It's most likely going to wilt and die, depending on the type of plant, the rate of growth, the conditions that it's in. It's most likely going to wither and die. Stop trying to delay the growth. That's why you feel like parts of you are dying. That's why you feel like parts of you are being lost. Lost to what? You don't know. Awaken and Arcturian activation. See? Refusal to grow. Refusal to allow the awareness to increase. Refusal to heal. That refusal is a betrayal. You're betraying yourself and the people who are waiting for you to allow them to witness you. Now, I don't quite know the gravity of the statement I'm about to make. I don't know, honestly, how I affect people. I know quite a few people, I irritate them. They don't like the way I conduct myself and yada, all this negative stuff. I don't care. I don't. That's a God honest truth. I don't care. But the statement that I'm going to make, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I go to say what I'm about to say, it's going to have different answers for everyone, different meaning for everyone. How would your life have been today if you never crossed my path? If I never allowed myself to be witnessed as I am, where I am? Would you have had the growth that you've had? Would you have more peace because I irritate you or I trigger you or whatever? How would that have affected you? And for me, it's just me being me. So really, it carries minimal gravity. Like these live streams and the things that I say, my behaviors, for me and my perception, it carries a minimal level of gravity, because I mean, this is just me being me. I'm an opinionated person, and I'm just sharing my opinions, you know? Like I don't know. I don't know how I affect people. And I think that's part of what we're learning together today, is that we are learning our gravity. We are learning how we affect people, you know? We are learning how important our existence is just by existing. Thank you, Dynasty. Dynast or Dynasty? Dynast. Oh my goodness. So honestly, I don't know. You've changed my life for the better. Thank you for that. See this right here. This is so important. He says, my process of learning may have been a little slower. I'm assuming if I wasn't present. But that's the thing, though. That's powerful because it's this recognition. You would still learn and grow whether or not I'm present. You still would. I'm just assisting you in what you naturally would have already done. And that is powerful because it gives the proper credit to everyone involved that I am simply a facilitator. I am someone who assists, helps, encourages. But at the end of the day, it's still always up to you, right? Element stability, element earth stability. Oh, oh, my finger. All right, card number 38. Let's just do this really quick because I got to get going. I got to go. Okay. Excuse me. Every moment and every event of every man's life on earth plants something in his soul. I'm a gardener. I am a gardener of life. I love that. When this card comes up in a reading, it can indicate that matters are becoming rock solid and sure, or it can mean that you have to prove yourself in some tangible way at this time or very soon. So it's kind of this sense that someone is becoming rock solid in their decisions, and their decision is leading them to a point where they feel as though they're going to have to prove themselves, prove their worth. This card also solidifies the focus of your reading. It's a good omen because it means you're constructing a solid base that will last. You really want a connection with some type of twin to last. If you really want that, make it a point to become friends. And make it a point to have no ulterior motive outside of just being friends and holding a space open for you two to be in each other's lives, to be able to interact and support each other, encourage, like all of that. It's a very beautiful thing. It's a very, very, very beautiful thing. Very beautiful. Oh, Eliza. She says, you helped me understand the different reasons for things I was experiencing, things I had already experienced. I've also found a lot of self-acceptance here. I love that. I love that. I love that you are now more able, more readily willing to accept yourself. Dolphin Dreams says, I feel I would be stagnant mentally and still stuck on my perception. Such a 180. Thankful for clarification. See, when you exit out of your comfort zone, and I know I make a lot of people uncomfortable, I'm aware. It's not intentional, it's just my existence. I know I make a lot of people uncomfortable. But see, it's that exiting your place of comfort that you begin to free yourself to enter into a new space of being. It's a very beautiful thing. Let's see. The earth element card is also a sensual card having to do with appetites where sexual need and expression are concerned. And this may have some relevance to your question. At worst, this card can represent hoarding and not being able to let go of things. And that includes your pain, hoarding your pain, hoarding this very skewed perception of yourself. Materialism may play into this. It may indicate working for tomorrow while not living in the present. So you're encouraged to relax, take a break, and return to the garden. So patience is needed to get where you want to be, and a mad rush could cause your tower to collapse. Remember, the foundation must be solid. This is like total confirmation. Like, look for a friend. You're looking for a friend, a dearly loved, deeply cherished friend. And if that's something that develops into something else, then so be it. But until it naturally develops into something else, let go of these preconceived notions of where it's going. Because I promise you, you don't know. You don't know. I love it when you start singing out of nowhere. Thank you. That's my, that's me addressing sensory overload. Singing, humming, those can be ways to stim. Stimming, I believe I have Asperger's. That would most properly explain me. Asperger's. um, and so I get overwhelmed by information that comes in. And so I stim. And stimming allows you to kind of disperse some of that sensory overload. And then you have the space to take in more information. So, oh, I love that, Yogi Ogly. Olgi, not Ogly. I feel had our paths not crossed, I'd still be stuck in searching for something I wasn't aware I needed till you came along. Oh, I love that. Thank you for that. Ooh. Oh, this. Hey, Lorene, I would still be ignorant to my own codependency and accountability issues. I found many aspects of myself that had gone ignored. And see, the beautiful thing is, like, when you guys can share this type of very, very intimate information about yourself, that's an expression of power. You're entering into a space of acceptance of self, a releasing of that shame and that guilt for being who you are, and really just existing in a state of authenticity. Powerful, powerful. I love that. All right. So card number 40, water element sensing. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Oh my God. Let matters flow. We get carried away on water. We have feelings of floating or being adrift over water. When looking at the shimmering surfaces of water, we cannot see to the bottom, but we know and sense that it's there. Deep things too obtuse and transitory to explain, fathoms of moods and insight. Someone saw you and they saw the glittering surface and they fell in love with that, knowing that there's a depth beneath the surface, but they miscalculated just how deep you actually are. And when they became consumed by your depth, a fear took hold and they rushed to the surface and they blamed you for the bends. They got the bends because they came up too fast. And that was due to the fear of finally being in the presence of someone who has a depth that matches their own. Mm. When the water element card presents itself in a spread, you can trust what you feel is the best course to follow. What you are sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just that what you're sensing is correct. Right now, it's best to go with the flow and, depending upon the cards surrounding it, to trust that movement, although these changes may seem gentle and gradual. So, someone is really coming to terms with something, with your presence. Sometimes the water element card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. It's time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. They're making plans to move forward. This can at times indicate trusting too soon or the passive acceptance of other people's shortcomings when you shouldn't accept them. This is a good time to imagine, write, paint, play, or create anything. This card represents being connected to the flow of all things. It's also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. So they're still keeping this secret. Whatever I'm assuming based on this, that they already know who you are, but they're still trying to keep that secret. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, yes. This is a countdown. Holy shit. 38, 39, 40. So we had card number 38, we had card number 39, and now we have card 40. Wow. So air element, communicating, all actions results from thought, so it is thought that matters. Your thought is controlled by your feeling. Oh shit. So you've been in control this whole time. You have been able to control the trajectory of their journey this whole time. And everything they've done, every decision they've made was based on a reaction to the emotions that you trigger within them. I'm not saying it's your fault. This is not about blame. This is about understanding the gravity of your presence in someone else's life or lack thereof. It's about to get real deep. I gotta go. Think it over first. Put some mental effort into it before you put your talk into action. Be logical, sort it out. It's time to put your words into what you want, what you desire, and what you expect. Uh-huh. The good news is some issues you've been working on at the current time and possibly from the past are now being resolved. You're able to face them without pretense, but most importantly with honesty. So if this is resonating with you and this person is going to come forward and face you, it's going to be without pretense and with honesty. Remember, I kept saying the sense that I get is they're finally coming to a conclusion and the distortions are being rinsed away. And so if someone comes back around to you, oh shit. I heard they're playing for keeps and they will arrive with both guns blazing. There's freedom now to take a new path. It's the time to look at things in a new way. When your question is about relationships or romance, someone may not be willing to commit as much as the other at this time. It is possible that they are embarrassed or not as comfortable about sharing emotions as the other. So the air element card can mean there is a type of blockage in that connection. It can become a type of weighing of all the angles and odds and being unable to reach a decision. But this will only be a temporary matter. This card implies ambition and the need to soar as high as you can, which is now possible more than ever before. This card indicates the powers of manifestation, the magic of mind and thought, bringing ideas into being. We've entered into a space. If you have a certain type of frequency signature, you can actually do immediate manifestation. I'm not talking about hokey pokey shit. I'm talking about immediate manifestation. Be careful with what you manifest for yourself. It's a lot easier for the human mind to manifest the negativity than it is to manifest positivity. Why? Because we're programmed from childhood to accept the negative in life, and that if you seek out the positive, you're a daydreamer. You're unrealistic. You're Pisces. Well, guess what? I am a Pisces. It's It's a lot easier for me to create positivity because of that. All the things they shamed you for end up becoming your superpower. Write that down. All the things they shamed you for end up becoming your superpower. All of these things that people see within me now that they think is just so powerful, like I can talk my shit. I'm not fucking scared to say what I need to say, to establish boundaries, to be soft and to cry, to speak with truth, integrity, divinity. These were all things that people shame me for much of my life. For many people, I've been the bitch. For many people, I've been the pushover. For many people, I talk too fucking much. For many people, I don't talk enough. I remember I had someone who came to visit my house, right? This was a while back. They were coming to visit and they were going to stay with us for whatever length of time that they were going to stay with us, like a week or something like that, or a month. I don't remember. I think it was a month. And I remember like they said something along the lines of how they're just exhausted having to interact and socialize with other people. And that's why they're so glad that they're going to be coming to my place because they know that I don't talk in person. And so they won't have to like be forced to entertain. What? Now looking back at it, that's kind of offensive and not. Like you don't have to fake being you don't have to fake wanting to converse with me because I literally don't talk in real life. I mean, unless, I be vibing with you on such a deep ass level, um, I'm very, very just, quiet in real life. I don't like there's coffee shops that my husband and I go to. Like we go to these coffee shops daily for months on end. And we always go through the drive-through. And so I'm always just in the front seat. And he's very talkative, he's very friendly. He's a Gemini. Hello. He's a Gemini. And then what ends up happening is they never really hear me talk. And so the one time that I go without him, they have no idea who I am. But when he's with me, they know exactly what we're gonna order. It's like, it's like Cheers. You know that show Cheers, where they know exactly what you're gonna order. It's like that. It's like that. They know him. They know him. But me, ain't nobody know my name. Nobody know what I want to order. I remember one time I went to this coffee shop and the guy that worked there ended up, we were like really friendly with him, really liked him. He's hella cool. And I go this one time without my husband, and they treated me like a second class citizen, like I'm inconvenienced. I'm like, bitches, do you know who my husband is? I didn't say that, but I was thinking that, like, you are all so friendly with my husband, and you act like I'm so inconvenient. I'm bothering you. I didn't say anything though. I was just like, okay, thank you. And I got home and I told my husband, I am never getting coffee by myself again. I don't care what you're feeling that day. He's like, what happened? They treated me like I didn't matter. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. If you don't talk, people don't get to know you. They don't get to know you. So you have to talk and you have to allow people to get to know you if you feel comfortable enough. And that's the thing. Your level of comfort is just as important as the next person. You matter. You matter. So start acting like it. Start having that expectation. And before you know it, your environment will be populated with the people who agree with your belief that you matter. Because you do. You do. I had to learn this over the course of several years. like actively learning it, being in Mooney. Mooney, are you here? Moonrock, please unleash your savagery. Yeah. Um, do you know how to read? Ma'am, sir? Sir, ma'am? Destroyer? Do you know how to read? Do you know how to read? Because you should read the About Me portion of this channel. I'm not a tarot card reader. It's foolish to speak on topics you know nothing about. It shows your level of arrogance and ignorance. Don't force me to point that out even further for you, because I gladly will. I have about 2 minutes I can waste on you. People think they understand what tarot is. First and foremost, I'm not a tarot card reader. ClairTarot. That means I use the cards to focus my clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, all my clairs. The demon horrors are out in force today. They are out in force today. That's fine. I'm a demon horse slayer. Oh, no, you said destroyer, not slayer. Demon possession. Did you know the Bible was written by people who wanted to control other people? Mystics, witches, fortune tellers, conjurers, tarot card readers, and other low-grade morons serve as recruiters for demons. Who told you that? See, when you speak in that way, it is you yourself that gives power to demons. Why are they afraid of me? Because they have no power in my presence. What have you done for other people? What have you done for other people? See, demon whores on both ends. On both ends. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not crazy, because that's the environment that we're in at this point. And it's up to you if you want to allow that. I'm going to let you comment for a little bit more so that you can increase my algorithm. Yeah. You're going to be increasing my algorithm. You're going to be working on my behalf. So go ahead and keep commenting more. Work for me. Do that work. Y'all, you don't have to be scared of demonic things. What you need to be afraid of is the people who tell you to be afraid of demonic things. Because you don't have to be afraid of demonic things. They will use whatever means necessary to instill and maintain that fear within you. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I tell you this with no hesitation, no guilt, no shame, no feeling as though it's coming from ego. In my presence, you are in the presence of someone who is very, very spiritual and very blessed by Creator itself. You cannot come here and try and tell me that I'm an abomination if you believe in God. Because if you believe in God and you believe in the concept of good and evil, and God is this omnipotence, then you believe that God created everything, including the demons, including me. So unless you're saying your wisdom is above the wisdom of the omnipotence of God, you're fucking full of shit. You got a problem with my existence? God created me. Take it up with God. Take it up with God. You are that 4-year-old toddler that thinks you know everything. Take it up with God. Everything that exists has been sanctioned by God. That means if you have a problem with my existence, if you have a problem with the existence of the LGBT, whatever else other letters and symbols they put behind that, you have a problem with God. Unless you're saying that God is not omnipotent, omnipresent, and omnipowerful. Do you know about Jesus? Jesus was a Nazarene Essene. You know what that means? The people who wrote the Bible were talking in the New Testament. They're talking about Jesus. You're mentioning the Bible, right? Right. Yes. The Bible as you know it to be now, because of the Nicene Council, that's when a group of people who didn't know Jesus decided what would be allowed in and what would be withheld from that Bible. They conveniently made it a more obscure thing that Jesus was a Nazarene Essene. Because guess what? It was this very same group of minds that launched a holy war against Jesus's people. They tried to eradicate the Essenes and also the Cathars. Do you know why the Nag Hammadi was hidden away? Do you know why the Dead Sea Scrolls were hidden away? Because luckily they got advanced knowledge that they were about to be executed. And they left in the middle of the night, under the cover of darkness, to hide those away. Transcriptions of actual conversations. Your human book will not limit me, nor will it take away from the gravity of the existence gifted to me by God itself. God made me exactly as I am, attitude and all. Attitude and all. And guess what else? Motherfucker, I'm baptized and confirmed. Yeah, that means I'm one of you. On top of that, because that shit wasn't fucking enough, I was born into a people that were very much subjugated by the Vatican. Most of the islands of the Philippines are Catholic. What does that mean? I was spoon fed this shit while I was still in utero. What else does that mean? I went to a private Catholic school from kindergarten and graduated from a private Catholic high school. And for a considerable portion of my life, I wanted to be a Carmelite nun. So if you think you know my God more than me, fuck you. And you can shove that book up your ass while you eat a bag of dicks. And God has given me permission to behave in this way. Because, see, if that behavior was not sanctioned by God, I would not be able to behave in that way. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Okay, so what was Jesus? Jesus was able to raise the dead. That's necromancy. Jesus was able to communicate with disembodied. That's mediumship. You are regurgitating the very words of the people who fucking executed this man because he could not be controlled. Jesus was a fucking witch. You didn't know that? Jesus talks about finding God in all things, from the trees to the rocks, in all things. So, what exactly are you trying to destroy? What are you trying to destroy? I'm not from Cebu. I'm not from Cebu. Yeah. You wanna talk in Filipino terms? I'm Babayan. I'm born of a shamanic lineage. I have ancestral witch blood. You wanna crucify me and burn me at the stake? So what are you trying to prove here? No one else here agrees with you. What are you trying to prove? You know it's demonic behavior to try and force agreement, to impress upon others your will. That's a definition of demonic behavior. That's definition of demonic behavior. You want to bring up Cebu? I'm not from Cebu. Pick another island. Pick another dialect. I don't speak Cebuano. Mhm. So you think you're gonna just like Google shit and think that you know about the Philippines? There's hundreds of dialects. There's hundreds of dialects. Pick a different one. Pick a different one. I'll be late for my sessions for this. Pick a different one. What's my point in this? That you can't control me. You can't shut me up. You can't shame me. How many people have you fed? How many lives have you changed? As a matter of fact, I'm a reverend. I'm a pastor. I'm even recognized by the United States as a fucking holy person. You want to see my card? I also have a certificate. Yeah, it's official. It's official. You know, it's official that I'm going to bring the change that this world needs because people like you need to learn your proper place at this point. You need to learn your proper place. Your fear mongering, yeah, not going to work here. Your desire to impress upon others, your demonic will, yeah, not going to work here. See, look, I have destroyed Emmy's demonic skank powers. Yeah. Oh, and you're mad. Why are you mad? Because you didn't get your way? Because you looked at me and you were like, oh, Asian, I'm going to pick on her. Salt water doesn't sting my skin, neither will your stupid antics. Ang kapal na mukha mo. Ang kapal na mukha mo. Sobrang kapal. Ang grabe. Ang grabe. You don't fucking scare me. And you won't shut me up either. This is what Jesus was talking about. What you're witnessing, this is what Jesus was talking about. Owning your power, knowing that you are in alignment between your purpose and your soul, and God protects you. Yes, please. You guys go ahead and report that for harassment. There's nothing you can do. Not to stop me, not to slow me down, not to shut me up. There's nothing you can do. And every single time one of you comes on my live stream, you're another log in the fire that is the bonfire that will cause me to rise even further. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. How do I know you Googled that? Because you went straight for Cebu. I'm not from Cebu. Google harder. Google harder. You probably know nothing about the Philippines. The women who come from there, my ancestry, were fucking warriors. Although we live in a culture that is heavy on the misogyny, the women are accustomed to carrying everything, including your stupidity. I will not bow to you, just like I refuse to bow to King Philip. I come from Maharlika. I know my history and my lineage. You can't shut me up because you know nothing of me. And when you find out enough about me, you'll shut yourself up. Y'all know who you are. Know where you come from. Don't allow other people to shame you into a space of compliance just because they're run by fear. Even if I'm afraid, I will not shut up. Why? Because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Yeah. You can't force me to do anything I don't want to do. You can't. See, I was going to get off the live stream at 10 because I have a session at 10:30. And I was going to go eat a sandwich for 30 minutes. Yep. So this is evidence of, hold on. This is evidence of you utilizing where is it? And you know those reports don't count if they're used by bots. Neither do the thumbs down, but they don't even register anymore. So, you know, it's about the interaction. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get this comment up on my screen so I can go ahead and got to screenshot it. And I'm going to stay live as long as it takes for them to use up all of their profiles. So that way we can get all your access out. Hold on. Oops. Let me see. That's funny. That is so funny. So you're commenting on my live stream, but you blocked my channel so that I can't see your comments. How cowardly. How cowardly. How cowardly. I'd say that's demonic behavior straight out. So as I was saying, I went ahead and stayed live instead of making my sandwich and taking 30 minutes to eat it before I start my sessions, simply because I've already devoured your soul. Yes. Yeah. So what now? What now? What are you going to do? Get more bots to do more stuff? All of that falls away. It does. All of that falls away. And y'all, if my channel ever gets taken down, I have a very private platform that you guys can all join me on. I have multiple websites that I can use to go ahead and do my live streams. If you still want to watch my live streams, there's emmyevolving.com and a whole bunch of others. I'm literally at a point where you can't shut me the fuck up. Even if you take the channel, you can't shut me the fuck up. Because guess what? I pay for all those services. So they can't restrict what I say. So if this channel ever goes down, if my Facebook ever goes down, emmyevolving.com. meevolving.com. I've already had this set up. I just haven't implemented it because, it's kind of lazy too. That was it. I was just lazy too. But guess what? I have a private live streaming platform where I don't have to go and abide by the rules of any other social media platform. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what this is for. To get me to stop playing small and just live stream on my website. Maybe it's time not to leave here, but to really begin the switch, begin the transition. I tell you guys, I'm at a point in my journey where I can just not disappear anymore. I cannot do that anymore. I've gone too far down my path. I can't disappear. I can't retreat. I can't take back what I've said. It's all just there. It's all just there. I will be a permanent public figure. I will permanently be able to be witnessed by the general public. There's some relief in making those statements. The questions of, can I just one day quit this? And, actually, I was talking to my husband and my family just the other day. I think, just over the weekend. And I was jokingly, I was like, I'm going to quit and I'm just going to be a stay-at-home mom again. Just like, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And my husband goes, you want to? And I was like, I do. I do. I do. I want to just like cook and bake and clean the house and do laundry. And, yeah, I do. I do. I just want to be a mom. But I'm realizing all of you that I've adopted, I can't abandon you because I'm your mom too. Whether you're older, whether you're younger, whether you're the same age, regardless of what nation you come from, what language you speak, I've adopted you. You're my child too. You're my family. And I'm just not one to abandon family. I don't do that kind of thing. And so now I realize I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to go away. I'm never going to fall silent. I'm never going to be shut up and hidden away. I'm capable of a lot of things. But disappearing, I don't think I'm capable of that anymore. And I can't say that I'm disappointed either. I feel strongly that even though my time is split between online family and in real life family, I feel strongly that my in real life family is proud of me for being who I am and having the courage to be that. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when you can allow someone's malignancy to be the very thing to trigger beautiful, divine realizations about yourself. I'm still going to continue to be the wonderful woman that I am. Regardless of how any live stream goes, I will still continue to be the wonderful woman that I am. I have a beauty that's not defined by aesthetics. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm going to say it anyways. I have a beauty that is not defined by aesthetics. And I say that as someone who is wearing mascara and powder on my brows, no other makeup. My beauty is not defined by my face or my aesthetics. And guess what? Gurgle my crystal balls. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Gurgle my crystal balls. I'm just saying. You can gurgle it, both of them. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. All right, guys. I love y'all. I love y'all, and I love how you guys come together and help to continue to support me, continue to encourage and empower me. And I hope I do the same for you. Regardless of what environment you're in, you have an intrinsic worth and an intrinsic power. The only time you can't have that is when you give it away, when you shut yourself up, when you play small. So stop doing that. Stop doing that and just be yourself. Be yourself. Be this amazing source of divine truth that you were designed to be. Nothing about you was made wrong. Let me say that again. Nothing about you was made wrong. You were made with intention. You were intentionally created by something so profound. Excuse me. That no book in human existence could ever properly even begin to explain. These people talking about they know God, they act like they know God. What is your definition of God? If you call God a him or a her, you only know part of the story. By definition, God cannot be defined. And to the people who would say, well, if you can't even define God, then you don't know what God is either. The nothing, the everything, and the spaces in between. That is God. Just because you don't know God enough to be able to use words to explain your experience with God does not mean I'm incapable. And I tell you right now, I am living proof that a God exists. I am literal living proof that God exists. I'm proof of it. I was born this way. I was born with my abilities, fully active. No one taught me how to be this, how to do this. And I tell you right now, it's going to take me a few years. But when I'm finally ready, the world will see me do things that humanity didn't think humans could do. It's not to say I can't do it now. It's to say I'm not ready. And there's power in knowing yourself and what you're ready for. But mark my words, when I am ready, the world will witness me do things that humans didn't think humans could do. Keep pushing me. I might be ready faster than you think. It's when people push me and they poke and prod me that I develop that much faster. So if you'd like to keep me from my purpose, leave me the fuck alone. Let me get comfortable. Let me stay stagnant. Let me sit exactly where I am, because the more you push me, the more I'll achieve within myself. The more I will come to terms with what I was created to do, which is what? Change your life. Even if I don't think you're worthy of it, I will change your life. And I will create an environment that will give you permission to heal, even if I don't like you. This was never about me liking people. This was about me serving the purpose I was created to serve. And no fucking human being will ever get in the way of that. Not even me. Not even me. Y'all, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. We are counting down the days for the end of our raffle. If you'd like to quickly squeeze in there, get yourself a couple tickets. You're going to be trying to win a 2-hour private meditative experience with me where we can do energy work, we can do readings, we can do all sorts of stuff. Whatever your higher self asks me to do, I will do for you in that time if you win. So it's only $1 per entry. Go check it out. solarworksynergistics.com/raffle. And I will see you guys again tomorrow because I'm not disappearing. No one's going to bully me out my own house. Been there, done that. Fuck that shit. I love you guys. Find your courage to be brave. You don't have to get rid of your fear. Find your courage to be brave. Allow your bravery to hold hands with that fear. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.